Hey, I'm coming from 1 Samuel 16, verses 6 through 11. And I want to tell somebody today that God does not judge or weigh you the way people do. You have a call on your life. There's an assignment over you. There is something in the earth that you have to get completed, and that must be done by your hands and your hands alone. God is committed to making you win. 1 Samuel 16, 6 through 11. You see, the prophet came and he came to select who would be the new king. Saul had already been rejected by God, and now he was coming to select the new king that the Lord would choose. So he comes into Jesse's house and he begins to tell Jesse to present all of his sons before him. So Jesse's going and he's presenting all of the sons before him. And the prophet looks at this one son, Eliab, and he said, surely this is God's anointed. And God tells him, no, don't look at his outward exterior or his appearance, because I select according to the heart. So he began to bring the sons one by one, each son standing before the prophet. And as they all presented themselves, no matter what height, no matter what stature, no matter how they look, no matter what the prophet thought, one by one, the Lord would begin to tell the prophet, it's not this son. It's not this son. It's not this son. You see, when God has selected you, when God has selected you, there will be no one else that can fulfill that role. There will be no one else that God will choose. He has divinely selected you. So I don't care how many people will present their self for whatever it is that God has in store for you. God will continue to say, I have not accepted them. I have accepted you. One by one, he begins to reject all the sons, no matter the height, no matter the money, no matter the stature, no matter what you have, no matter what you feel like you don't have. God has uniquely selected you. It's not about the appearance. It's not about the look. It's not how tall you are. It's not what you think that you have outwardly. It's God that's looking, weighing, and judging the heart. And as a matter of fact, in this particular chapter, Jesse did not even have David come to stand before all of the other sons. You see, when the prophet asked for all of the sons, he didn't even think David was significant enough to present himself amongst the other people. So I want you to know today that you cannot be mentioned by man. David wasn't even mentioned by his father, but you can be mentioned by God. And as each person came, and as each person was denied by God, Samuel then began to say, do you have another one? And he said, yes. Oh, it's David. He's out there with the sheep. So David began to come forward. And in fact, it was David, the one not selected, the one not looked at, the one overlooked, the one that basically wasn't really seen. It was in fact David who had the mantle, David who had the mandate, and David was the leader and the king. He would become king of all of Israel. He would be anointed 3 times. The first time he would be anointed in private. The second time he would get rulership over just a region in Hebron. The third time he would take over the entire Israel, because God is intentional and he knows how to do successive wins. So I want to tell you on today, I don't care who doesn't select you, who looks at you and thinks that maybe you're not qualified to stand where God has you to be qualified to stand before. God looks at your heart, clean hands and a pure heart. He looks at your intentions. He's not looking at the outward exterior. So you can very well be rejected by man, but divinely and uniquely selected by God. I want you to know on tonight that he's committed to you winning. Make it an amazing night.